Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Game of Thrones Winter's Coming. Today we are taking a look at a new commander, or another commander in my series, which is Gorell. And Gorell is, as you can see here, defensive TT commander. He is also currently awakened, and he has certain skills and certain things that kind of help in the game. But after you finish watching this video, you will basically know his strong points and what he doesn't do that well. So let's get straight into it now. We are now going to take a look at what it is that Gorell does. We are going to take a look at in terms of training grounds, rebel leaders and PvP fights. And here you have an overview about his skills. You can see he has a direct range skill with a stun for 3 seconds. When he's killed, he does damage to enemy and lowers the accuracy. And adds more defense, 20% control resilience at the start of battles, and adds 260 command. His awakening skill has Spear of Liberty, which decreases the target's defense by 3% for every time one spearman strikes. And then there's also a general overview about how his stats are distributed, where you can see there's a heavy focus on defense and health, and okay stats for attack. Now first up, we are going to take a look at training grounds. In training grounds, you can see that you will preferably have him in the front row. It means either in the middle, top or bottom. Either works. His strong points are that he has really great defense, that he has straight line crowd control, which means that he can basically stun both enemies in front of him. He is strong against Cav, okay against Spear, which is quite an important thing to keep in mind. He's really bad against infantry, especially if there's a back row infantry that's dealing high damage to him or a frontline is just blocking him. His active skill charges up fairly fast, so keep that in mind when you're basically maybe putting him against a spear, that your active skill might actually come first and give you the advantage that way. But this kind of sums up the training grounds. Never put him in the back, always keep him in the front, use him as a tank against a cav or a spear, and make use of the straight line control in your lineup, because CC is always good in PvP. And of course there's also the fact that he gets increased resilience at the start of the battle, which means that he's being stunned less and can take crowd control better than other commanders. Now we're going to take a look at rebel leaders. At rebel leaders, you would preferably only keep him in the middle and the front, so he's basically the tank. And his strong points for that is basically that he is very good defensive. He's at least against cavalry type. He can be used against spear, but Cavs he should be able to, when awakened, tank up to level 4, maybe even level 5 if he has some support behind him without much issue, so keep that in mind. He has also crowd control, which makes it easier for him to survive, because the 3 seconds that he might stun the enemy basically makes it so that the enemy can't really hit him back. He has high base damage for a tank as well. That's also because he charges his active skill fairly fast, so he can use it more often, and that deals more damage than normal auto attacks. And the passive adds extra command points, which basically means that he has increased defense in these types of battles. That also applies to the PvP section, but the amount is so small that hardly gets noticed in those kind of things. Now we're taking a look at the PvP fights. PvP fights in this section, you can see his stats for what he does give you to the account, and we are going to take a look at his strong points fast. He's basically a spear commander with focus on attack defense for spearmen, which is really great because he's also free to play, so he's fairly easy to get, and these, at least early on, were really difficult and were really needed in the game. His awakening skill decreases enemy lineup's defense for every strike, and even though that's not the greatest, it's always great to have some kind of reduction on your enemy, especially if you're the one that has the bigger army when attacking, because that means you get the most value out of it, even though it's only the front line that's actually has any value where you get it from, or you get any value out of it from. And the awakening buffs are basically focused on spear, attack, defense and health, which is really good, and that means that he's basically a really good commander for you to use if you're using spear frontline, or if you're basically going mono spear, so it means basically only sharing your information. So keep that in mind when you are basically doing PvP fights against other people, and use them that way. But before we are finishing up the video, we're going to take a look at the tavern, and then we'll finish up afterwards. So be right back. So to finish up this video, we are going to take a quick look at his tavern stats. And in the tavern, he has normally he has 1 aptitude and 4 command, and in general that's decent overall. I mean, it gives you some command or some troops, and it gives you some speed ups. Once he's awake, he will get an additional star in the aptitude and additional star in command. And this kind of like puts together the whole video now about what Gorell is and what his strong points are. So I hope you liked the video. Like and comment down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. If you want to play the game, the link is down in the description below. Same is the link for the Discord group and the music that I'm using in this video. But I wish you all a good weekend. Good luck with the events that's going on currently, and take care. Bye bye.